it gave me extraordinary freedom. Ken paints as well, so we were both talking before about, I was feeling a little schizoid today because I've got my artwork here, which is my more natural introverted place, and yet it's for Prisoner and Lexi, which is the extroverted, and I kind of didn't quite know where to place myself. It was a real freedom playing Lexi in that way, because she was wild and crazy and didn't think, and it was a real relief where I came from home with a little baby where I had to think about everything and I was really trying to do it all right, and then I got to play this crazy girl who, if I forgot my lines, all I had to say was, "You bitch!"
Thank you. Glenn?
Pepe, what would you like to work outside the studio like with your co-star, Popco?
Oh, that was just...
And I had no idea that was your real dog. I was totally blown away.
Yeah.
Very obedient.
No, one of the reasons that Poco got the gig was because we were completely connected and she would do anything that needed to be done, and it was again on a short, you know, budget-wise and time-wise, and budget-wise meant they didn't have to pay a dog handler and another dog, so Mum rang me and went, "You've got to use Poco because she'll do anything for you," and that way I save on the budget. It's like, okay, yep, sure. And then when Poco got lost in the weekend between and lost down the mine shaft, and I thought my mother might never speak to me again. If the dog had not come back, she may never have spoken to me again. It was really wonderful because it was natural.
Thank you. Any more questions on this table? No? I'll move on to the next one. Have we got questions here? Yes?
I'm only 32 and tragically watching it for only the first time. I've got just a general question for all of you. What was it like working with Maggie Kirkpatrick?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And was she a comedian behind the scenes?
Oh no, she was an absolute joy. She was beautiful and funny and naughty.
Yeah. Naughty.
Maggie. Oh, there's such a side to Maggie. There was a break somewhere sometime, and Maggie and her daughter Caitlin were going to Fiji for that break, and she pulled me aside and she said, "I've just bought this little kitten, and do you think your family," because I come from a family, 4 kids and plenty of animals, and she said, do you think your family would mind if you looked after the kitten? And Mum didn't even flinch. And there's the freak driving, well, not really because it's Maggie, but can you imagine, I used to live in Mulgrave, right, which is a little domesticated family, little, not a lot of fun unless you played knick-knock after hours and stuff. And so there's Maggie driving up, all striding up with she's very tall, and this tiny kitten, and Mum said, "Hello Maggie, come on in." And but that was it, and so she just dumped this little kitten there, and then 2 weeks later she came to get it back, and she was really grateful, really grateful. So well, there's a lot to Maggie. She's very beautiful. She's very beautiful. I'm talking about her in the past tense. She's a very beautiful person. She's funny and clever, very clever and kind.
Yeah. Can I?
Yeah.
This is only my opinion, but I think that Maggie has an extraordinary strength as a woman. That I think I'm trying to say that it wasn't well received. Like, her presence is extraordinary, and that's why I think Prisoner was such a wonderful medium for Maggie, because she didn't have to hold anything back. She could really explore that power and strength and presence. with joy. But as a young actress coming in, she was really kind to me. Maggie was the person who I think, without ever saying anything to me, maybe sensed that it was a bit awkward for me with Mum as the producer, and that I was kind of not like my mum, who was very, and she understood I was just a young mum who really loved my job, and she was so welcoming. She'd always give me a hug. How you doing? How's the bub? Do you leave her crying? It's okay, darling, leave her crying. And I think that's a side that people don't understand about Maggie. She's a real humanist. So that's what I would like to say.
There's also a sense of vulnerability about Maggie too. She's a very creative person as a human spirit. Do you want to say something? Yeah. Oh no.
One stage of the game, Maggie was doing a very involved scene, and she blew her lines. And I leaned out from behind my camera and said to her, "Maggie, big girls don't dry." And she looked at me and she said, "You get up here and do the effing lines."
She said to me one day, "Oh, you're all right, kid. You're the only one around here who doesn't give me the shits." She was funny. I always remember it. She was very generous, and with her daughter Caitlin, she said, "I'll have nothing to leave her." She said, "I'll give it to her all now." And I thought, I hadn't started my family then, and I thought, that's a great way. What's the point of leaving everything when you can enjoy it with them now?
Yeah.
When you're younger and some old woman says something with great wisdom and you hold on to it.
Yeah.
But I'll have nothing to leave.